I don't know if you saw this, guys, but the government shutdown is causing a whole bunch of issues, obviously. The fact that these losers can't get off their butts and work for the people because they're too tethered to their ideology, too radical for their own good, and they're not doing anything on behalf of the people. 40 million people, which is mind-boggling that there's 40 million people on the SNAP program, but 40 million, maybe it's the debit cards themselves, are going to be impacted because they can't authorize the funding for those cards. So if it's not fixed by Saturday, all these people who depend on SNAP as a program to feed their families, to feed their faces, aren't going to have access. And what does that mean? Well, it means desperation. Again, more government overreach. The whole entire business model of the government is completely broken because it's trying to operate like a business that's bankrupt. For sure, the business is bankrupt, but they're still continuing to scale, to grow, to spend. And it's just mind-boggling that it won't end. There's no end in sight. I'm in the conservative state of Utah that is authorizing more laws about pride flags than they are taking care of the people in Utah. 1,000 bills were proposed last year. 600 of those bills became new laws, including new regulation allowing law enforcement to do whatever they want with surveillance, wide-scale surveillance. I don't know about you, but I don't want a camera picking up my license plate or my speed and sending me a ticket in the mail. And some of you guys are like, well, that you just don't need a speed. It's like, that's not the point. The point is it's a slippery slope. Okay, let's just say this, right? Geographically. Now in Utah, this entire area, you could take a couple square miles of an area, do a blanket surveillance warrant to get access to all the signal intelligence for all the cell phones and all the data to tie in a network. I read an article yesterday I talked about in my podcast, the Mike Force podcast. I'll link that episode down below on how they were using stingrays. I used a stingray in combat where it's a piece of signal intelligence equipment that you drive around, suck up all the cell phone data so you could network and isolate and understand the connections between people to capture a bad guy or to kill a bad guy. Well, guess what? Why are we treating sovereign American citizens, free citizens, like terrorists? Like, yeah, sure, you're in Afghanistan running a stingray, which I've done. Yeah, do that. I don't agree with law enforcement using military equipment to pick up, based on their best interest of the people, to suck up cell phone data of mom and pops that are just out here trying to live their best life. That's a complete violation. And it continues. It continues. So at the same time, right, it's a balance that we want to stop the cartels, all these losers from Antifa. We're also violating the hell out of constitutional rights. And honestly, I guarantee you every single day in this country, somebody's being put away for years, if not decades, just because they got caught up in it. And that makes me sick to my stomach. So is the country headed in the right direction? No, it's not. Because no matter who's in power, no matter who gets in control, they're going to have their agendas. They had their talking points, their objectives, and now they're going to follow through on all of that. But the thing is, the people pick up on the clickbait, the headlines. They don't want to even pay attention to the details. Right in front of us, as things continue to steamroll forward, we start losing all of these liberties and freedoms that people died for, people sacrificed for, that we want to obviously have. We don't want to be England where people are getting thrown in jail for 20 months for a Facebook post. It's insane. And so, look, I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know, but if we don't get serious about policing up our own communities and our own backyards, we're going to be in the hurt locker, not because the federal government can impact and affect all the things in your life, but sure as hell, that city council man or woman, that mayor, the mayor of Salt Lake City right now is proposing 20% property tax increases. After they just went through all this budget to support illegal immigrants, to install DEI protocols and processes, now they want 20% tax hikes on SLC. One of the reasons I'll never even be near SLC. Dave from Barstool Sports, Portnoy, just did a pizza review in Salt Lake City. He did one in Provo. I'll take the 7-4 over the 8-4 in Provo because I don't want to go in Salt Lake City. Because there's bums everywhere. Crime has increased and spiked through the roof. Hell, on police activity on YouTube, you see more shootings in Salt Lake City than I've ever seen. It's insane. And you're like, what? Beautiful backyard Utah, this is what we're confronted with? Yep, that's what's happening, man. I also just did a video on Mike Glover channel on this new survival radio called POC Link 1 or POC 1 Ultra. It's a SIM card tethered into the radio, and it also is able to do FRS communications. Super dope. Check out that. I'll link that down below as well. All right, I got to get out here and feed this dog. I appreciate you guys. I'm off to do a podcast, actually, with a cybersecurity expert at my studio in town. So appreciate you guys.